Okay, good morning, everyone. It's a
Morning.
beautiful morning here
Morning.
in Tokyo. It was raining last night, but today is quite cool, so it's good. And today we have three presentations from Barb, Naoko, and Budi. And I must say, I'm so happy for our topic for today, finding a balance between tech and touch, because for teachers of young learner, that's what we try to do in the classroom, right? So I would like to introduce our first presentation, which is going to be Barbara Hoskins Sakamoto. Barbara is the co-author of one of the best-selling book for early young learner, which is Let's Go. And she also the author of The Role of Technology in Early Years Language Education. And a lot of us know also that Barb is a director for ITDI, which where I met Barb. And I've always said that Barb is responsible for me moving to Japan because she was the person that I met online when I first started to get to know the teaching context, when I first asking questions online about teaching and stuff like that. So from that, I think I met Barb on Twitter first, and then we started connecting, and now I'm here. So today Barb's going to talk about technology that has tools that could be used in the classroom, right, Barb?
Yes.
So I'm so excited to this presentation. So everyone, let's hear it from Barb.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Yay.
Okay, can everybody see my slides?
Yes.
All righty. Awesome. So basically, oops, where is my slide advancer down here? It's not popping up. There we go. Okay, so Ita just gave a great introduction, but I wanted to sort of talk about who I am, because maybe not everybody knows me. I came to Japan in 1985 with a brand new, still wet on the diploma, Master of Arts in TESOL. I had thought I was going to teach like high school English and the speech team in a US high school. So my undergraduate degree was teaching high school English and Spanish. And then I needed to pay some student loans. And I looked at countries where I could make a good enough wage to do that, and Japan was the winner. So I came to Japan not knowing anything about the country, not knowing any Japanese, and taught in language schools. And from there, after a number of years, I started working on Let's Go. And from Let's Go, developed, the teachers I met through doing workshops with Oxford is one of the big reasons that I was one of the founders of International Teacher Development Institute. And now I teach still, but I mostly give workshops for teachers. And that's me. And today I wrote 3 questions in my abstract that I want to make sure I cover today, or try to answer them. And the first one is, when should I consider combining tech and touch? And how do I decide if I should, how I should combine them? And how the heck can I add one more thing to my schedule when I'm already completely overloaded? I know a lot of you teach, you might teach 12-hour days, you might teach 6 days a week, you might be the only teacher in your school. And, your time is something that is a serious consideration. So we'll be looking at that as one of the constraints. I know Budi and Naoko are going to be looking at tech in the classroom. They show you classroom examples of technology improving their lessons or expanding their lessons, and how to extend it past the classroom and connect with parents. I'm going to kind of focus on the how and the decision factors, and show you some examples and sort of let you, do your own thought process on it. But the balance that I see is, on the one hand, tech combined with touch can really improve the learning experience for both teachers and students. But you have to balance that with how much effort it takes to use the technology, how efficient it is. Like, is it more efficient to teach with that tech tool, or is it more efficient to teach with, cardboard cubes, or Realia? How simple is it for your students to use and for you to learn or to use? Because otherwise you're going to spend your time explaining how something works, and how much potential does it have? Like, can you use it over and over? If you learn it once, can it have applications outside of that one lesson? Now, you'll notice that one of the reasons for using technology is not because it's a shiny new toy. You should never start with the technology. You always start with the pedagogy. And when you look at what it is you want to do in your classroom, then you want to look at tech with your touch. I mean, I think they belong together, but you want to add the tech to your touch if it lets you do something that you can't do otherwise. Or it improves your teaching. Like, let's say depending on your lesson goals, it helps you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish better than if you didn't include technology. And it improves your student learning, their learning experience. So, for example, if you have students with special needs, you can use technology quite often to adapt lessons to make it easier for students to learn. Or you can use technology to help you prepare lessons that are more inclusive and accessible. So I'm going to have an example for each of those. So the first example I want to share is, you add technology to touch when it enables you to do something you couldn't do otherwise. So here's my example for that. Okay, I've got this brilliant idea for sentence practice. You put the word cards in a little shaker bottle, and they come to the top, and students make sentences. Well, the problem is, it doesn't work. I've spent hours on this trying to find the right medium so that the sentence, or that the word cards sort of float, and I have not found it yet. But there was a tech solution that was elegant, simple, lots of potential, and it didn't take me any effort. So let me show you a randomizer. So let's go over, and I will share the randomizer I created. You're going to get a chance to make some sentences here. Let me see. Where is my randomizer? Okay, so maybe I can go from now. One moment. I've got the wrong page shared on my browser, so let me go fix that.
I really want to see the randomizer now.
Yeah, well, I want to show it to you, so I'm going to go change it to the right page. Okay. The problem is that it looks just like my slides, so I had the wrong thing open. Okay, so here's the randomizer. And first we're going to try it, and then I'm going to show you how it's made and why it is so much easier than my little brilliant bottle. All right, so I'm the only one who can make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and spin it. And I may not have shared sound, so you may not be hearing the brilliant little clicky sound when it goes around.
Hear
But
it.
We heard it.
Yep.
Okay. So can anybody make a sentence with a monster, alien, yesterday, and forest? You can put it in chat or you can speak, depending on whether you got your mic open.
A monster had a big fight with an alien in the forest yesterday.
That's great. Okay, let's try another one. And these are words that my students brainstormed, right? So that's why you've got Leonardo da Vinci and Mona Lisa in here. They learned about them in school. Okay, so anybody want to take on Leonardo with the horse and the soccer field?
Yep.
Okay.
Leonardo da Vinci painted the horse. Will paint the horse tonight on the soccer field.
I think
Special exhibition.
that's brilliant. Ooh, Leonardo again.
Oh,
Leonardo da Vinci tossed a coin to the outer space last week.
So limitless options here.
a teacher kissed an alien at the beach last week.
Okay, now you can also use this as story starters, right? You can have the first sentence of the story and then you do it like a chain story that students can keep adding to it. So what makes this brilliant? Let me go back to my slides. And all the links that all the sites I'm sharing, there's a Google Doc with links, so don't worry about finding things later. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so this is what, if you go to the Flippity randomizer, you'll see the screen and it's flippity.net and you'll see you want to make your own randomizer. And you say, oh yeah, man, I want one of these. So you have two options. You can either do it online, fill in the boxes on their website, or you can create a Google spreadsheet, which is what I really recommend, because if you do the Google spreadsheet, then all you have to do is fill in columns. And you can have as many columns as you want. You can use pictures in addition to words, and then you publish it to the web. Oops, and I just clicked on something that's not clickable. And then the bottom tab is get your link here. And if you publish it to the web, then you get a link that will take you to the site I just showed you with your own personal randomizer. So it takes no time. Once you've got it set up, you can change the words, or you can create additional randomizers. And then, yeah, it is much easier than me trying to figure out how to make these work. Now, I love my milk carton cubes, right? And I use those for sentence practice a lot. And I'm not going to give up doing those. But something like this is so easy for me to review vocabulary. There's no comparison. Even my cubes are easy and they are recyclable and I love them, but there's nothing easier than putting together a Google spreadsheet and letting somebody else do the work and turning it into sentence practice.
Barb, can I add something there?
Go ahead. I
Okay.
should ask if anybody has anything else to say.
In my experience, I'm a touch person, but you know, when I saw your pet bottle with the rice and the words, immediately I wanted to just get in there and touch it.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, touch is so appealing on a sensory level that if you're serious about teaching vocabulary, don't use a pet bottle with rice because they're not going to be interested in the vocabulary. They'll want to take the rice.
Oh, it's for older kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean the vocabulary in there's like monster and stuff. It's these words. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's one way of doing it. Right. And I think that for young kids, I think touch is essential. But I think there's also a place for this kind of randomizer. You can have pictures. Like if you have the randomizer show up a picture of something you want them to talk about, it's just a different way of practicing. And I think it fits the criteria of improving the teaching in that it saves you time and it allows you to update lessons very quickly and very easily. And it's a supplement, not a replacement, I think. But that's a really good point. Yeah, because it could be more fun in a bowl with go fishing for the word cards. But it also sounds like it could be a real mess. So,
yeah.
So, any other questions about the randomizer before we move on? No? Okay. All right, so the other thing, the next place is when the tech can improve your teaching, not necessarily by suggesting that your teaching is bad without technology, but that the technology can either give students more contact time with the language, it can help them use the language in a more deeper and meaningful way, it can allow you to extend your lesson, to do things that you can't do with just touch. For example, I mean, the kaleidoscopes are one of my favorite little toys these days. And this is just like a toilet paper roll and a sheet of mirror sticker. And I think that there's a lot that I do with the kaleidoscope, and I think there's a lot you can do with the kaleidoscope. So, for example, you can have students describe what they see. Now, the kaleidoscopes I made have part, the part with the things in it come out. So you can change what students are looking at. And so they can describe what they see in the kaleidoscope, and then students can say which item it is. So for example, I see pink and blue and a light blue and a dark blue and clear. I see some circles and I see some stars. And do you have any idea which one it might be? What number?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Oh, wait, no, 4.
Ah, so, okay, so why do you think 4? See, the other thing to do with all of these is some very low risk supporting opinions. Like, so not only when students, give you an answer, but start getting used to asking them why they think that. And why do you think it's number 4, Ruthie?
Well, first I wasn't concentrating, so I just heard the blue and the stars. So I went immediately to 3, and then I was like, wait, clear and pink. Nope,
Yeah.
it's got to be 4.
Okay, let's try it with my other one now. And so this one has pink and clear circles. They're kind of round, but also kind of green ribbons and hearts. Any idea what it might be?
Has to be 5.
Pink.
Oh, there's no pink.
And clear.
Number 1.
That's number 1.
Yeah.
The ribbon are in the middle.
Yeah. And so if I asked you why you think that, you'd come up with the color and the heart. So it's what's also nice about the touch kaleidoscopes is you can take the end off and just look at stuff. You can look at things in your classroom, you can look at things outside. And I think that it's a wonderful thing. So I'm not going to get rid of them. But and I can take pictures through the kaleidoscope of the objects and then ask students to match. So for example, which one do you think this is?
Ooh. That one's 4.
Did 4? I think 4 too.
Okay.
Yeah, 4.
Okay.
4.
You're right. And it's because you only see the green, and I don't know what the other color is, like kind of lighter green, but they're all the beaded shapes. How about this one?
Number 2.
Okay, why do you think it's number 2?
Blue stars.
Blue and white and lighter blue.
Okay,
And no pink.
and no pink. Good point. And how about that one?
5.
You're correct. And those are just little sequins. And one reason I do not recommend putting sequins in the end of the kaleidoscope, because they get stuck. They are too thin. You need beads. But they're great at looking, directly into a pot or something, or a little glass. Or you can explore. You can put all kinds of things in egg carton and have students use their kaleidoscope to see what it looks like. So it's a great exploration. So why would I possibly want to add technology to this? And it's because I can extend the practice. I can use it for more things. I can use an app and a kaleidoscope effect to turn all kinds of things into kaleidoscope pictures. So here first, I can either take pictures of anything, or I can send students on a treasure hunt. Assuming I've got parents that are willing to help me out with this. We went looking for different shape leaves. Heart leaves are pretty easy. Oval is pretty easy. Long is pretty easy. Short is pretty easy. Circle is really hard. You get circle-ish. Or if somebody has a money plant or eucalyptus, they have round leaves. But you can, in the process of doing that, you can describe the leaves. You can ask students to look for specific shapes. You can, and this works for any object. We were just doing plants, and then you can sort of do a survey, like what's the most common shape that you saw, and take a tally, and that's how we know that there are fewer round leaves than anything else. Okay, so by itself, that's a great use of really, really simple technology to have students get out of their houses and do something else. Now, it also gets the neighbors involved. If they're anywhere around your school, going around looking at leaves and taking pictures. If it's older kids and they have their own cameras. If they're younger kids and they don't have cameras, then it's something you have to work with parents. But it's a great way to get students involved in it. Then you can take those and put the pictures into a kaleidoscope app, which is, there's a site that I didn't put on my slides, but it is in the links at the end, called LunaPic. And it has a kaleidoscope effect, a filter. So for example, here now, we're gonna do the same thing we did with the beads. And here's a kaleidoscope. Now, first, can you tell me how many sides the kaleidoscope has there? If the kaleidoscope has a mirror that's a triangle, 3 sides, how many angles are you going to see in a kaleidoscope?
Should see 6, right?
Correct. And so that's, you can do a bit of math and how many sides you see. Another thing that's really nice is with the app, you can have a kaleidoscope with the number of mirrors that do not exist in real life. Like you can have 3 angles, you can have 5, their default is 5 for some reason. But which picture do you think this is? Which leaves are these?
4.
Why do you think so?
The color.
The shape.
The color, right? The color is the easiest one on that one. Now, it's a little hard to use shape as a distinguisher on the kaleidoscope because it gets kind of squished together. How about this one?
Number 3.
3.
Why do you think so?
Well,
It still has
the
that shape.
Like, shape, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we like narrow or thin. If we wanted students to use language that they know. So it's a thin leaf or it's a narrow leaf. And it's all green. as
And there's
opposed to the
grass.
red leaves. Hmm?
There's grass in the back too.
And there's grass in the back. Now, one of the things that's also one reason to do it this way, instead of just having students look at the pictures and then describe it and pick out which one you're talking about, is the kaleidoscope effect makes students look at the picture more closely. So they pay more attention to it because it's slightly distorted. At least that's what I found. It makes it a little bit more fun. So it's a bit more motivating, but it's still the same practice, right? So it's no different than describing and matching, but it's just one level up of, like not much different than having a close-up picture and having people describe what they're looking at, right? So it's just a different way of tearing the picture apart or distorting it. Okay, here's another one. What do you think?
This one's challenging.
Yeah.
Let's say
Number 6.
6.
6.
Okay, why do you think so?
The color combination.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're correct. And now it's a good point though, because this is getting borderline too challenging, right? So you have to find the right level of distortion where it's still figure outable, if you will. So it's still fun and it's not frustrating. And the last one.
Ooh. Number 2.
Number 2.
You are correct, but why do you think so?
The
Color-
color.
That's obvious.
Well,
The leaves.
The leaves
The-
still have the shape of the
Yeah.
V shape.
Yeah, you got it. And so it's, I think one of the things I like activities like this for is it does help students practice giving reasons in language that they know for things that are no risk,
Mm.
right? That's a big thing in school now, in English classes, is to have students supporting what they say with reasons. I believe this for, 3 reasons, and it's 1, 2, 3. Or like bentos are better than hot lunch for 3 reasons. And, they're pretty low risk, but this is a good way to practice in a no risk area. Okay, so the third way to add tech, or the third reason to add tech, in my opinion, is when it improves your students' learning experience. And in a lot of cases, that might be when they have some learning challenges, and technology can be something that makes it easier for them to learn. So, for example, really easy one to start. How many colors do you see? What do you see?
5 colors.
What colors do you see?
red, green, blue, orange, yellow.
Okay. Now, my husband would have gotten 2 of those wrong because he doesn't see colors the same way everybody else does. So here are the 4 main types of color blindness and the way that those rings look to a student who has that type of color blindness. Now, students in Japan are tested, I think, from 1st grade for color blindness because it's fairly prevalent here. I think that it's 5 to 6%. It's the same level as dyslexia about in Japan. And so it's like 2 out of 40 students, or 1 out of 20 students. So chances are you have had a student who doesn't see colors clearly in your classroom. You may not know it because by the time they come to your class, they're pretty good at accommodating. But you can use an app to help you make sure that your teaching materials are easy for them to see. Now, you still have to teach colors in young learner classes. There's no way around it. And my husband, actually, he knows what color other people call red. Right, so that's the one way that he compensates for it, or he knows what color other people say is green and brown. But even though he was tested in school every year, and so his teachers knew that he was colorblind, he still got in trouble for using the wrong colors for, drawing. right? There was no accommodation for it. So students have a tendency not to speak up. Now, parents might tell you if you ask, or just if, you know, when you have an interview with them, you might just find out, because it is a relatively common thing, especially with young boys in Japan. Okay, so here, one way we can use that little app there, we have 3 worksheets, and these are just worksheets I pulled off of Canva. So we're going to take a look at the 3 of them, and then I want you to think about whether or not it would be an issue for people if they couldn't see the colors clearly. So here's the first one. The task is to take those geometric shapes and build a house according to the pattern. So what do you think? Do the colors matter?
No.
Not really. It's pretty much
Okay.
shape. If they match the shapes, they can do the activity. So even if it looks like this, or this, or this, students are going to be able to participate. And they'll be able to succeed. As long as you don't ask them to like pick up the red, you know, or touch the red thing, right? Okay, how about this one? It's a game. How are students going to do with that if they have a hard time with colors?
It depends on the numbers 1 through 13 are on a white background. Does it depend on the amount of contrast? If
That's amount of contrast is an important thing. So the colors are still pretty easy to figure out, and it's or the numbers, which is the main thing.
Mhm.
So probably they can do it fine, regardless. They might see it differently, but they'll be able to play the game and participate without an issue. The last one, here's a finish the pattern activity. Now these are pretty common.
this would be troublesome.
Yeah, it would be difficult,
Why would it be problematic?
especially for the square one, because some students would see the same color and they don't know how to fill.
Yeah, we've got red squares, green squares, blue squares, yellow squares. We have yellow circles, red circles, green circles. The triangle might be okay. But yeah, this is what happens to it. Or
Hmm.
So how could you fix that? How could you make it so that it was, I mean, I see teachers all the time adding lots of colors because it's pretty. Right? I mean, Christmas handouts, Christmas worksheets can be a nightmare because everything is red and green.
I would be tempted to, like, you can see that some of the colors are not changing, except for the pink. No, that doesn't work either. Like, to make sure that the
Blue
next
is pretty safe.
color that's the
Yeah,
same.
blue is pretty safe.
Use the
One thing that you could do, okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say use the safest colors.
Yeah, or make sure you just use one color per shape.
Ah.
So the pattern is the shapes.
So choose one color for that square.
Right, and one color for that circle. Because
Yeah.
if you do that, then you've got the same as the house. Students are just using the shapes to do the activity. So any questions about how, and all you can tell the pictures are really lousy because all I did was take the app. I have the app on my phone and I just took screenshots. So like I have the app on my phone. So, you know, if I, when I went to visit my family at one point, I saw this wonderful, beautiful tiger's eye rock at the airport, or a piece of jasper at the airport, because Southern Oregon is famous for their sort of rocks. And I thought about getting it for my husband because he loves rocks. But I used the app to look at it, and that beautiful red jasper looked like poop. So not what I want to spend my $10 on, right? And so, it can be an everyday thing, but also when I do a handout, it's not bad to look and see how it's going to look to other students. Now, if you don't have any students that have problems with colors, then you may not have to worry about it, but it's not a bad habit to develop because you don't always know if kids are colorblind or not. It's not always something that they announce. I was married to my husband probably a couple of years before, I figured out that when he was asking me for the green book, it's like, which, he doesn't have a green book, or the brown bag, which he also didn't have, or wondering why I was always wearing these gray colors because I dressed in a lot of pink. It wasn't something that was just announced, right? Because he's so used to it, he doesn't think about it anymore. Okay. So another thing is some of your students might have some problem, or are there any questions about the Chroma app before I move on? No? Okay. Let me see if there's anything in chat that I should be paying attention to. Ruthie, you asked young kids, I think, unless they've changed it, I think the kids are tested every year in school when they have their health checks. So it's just like the driver test where you're looking at something and it's all the dots, and if you're colorblind, you can't see the right things in the middle.
Nursery level kids.
Nursery level may not. So I would make sure that things, I would, if I started noticing kids getting the colors wrong, you might want to just pay attention. I mean, none of us is qualified to diagnose anybody. And we got no business being armchair, clinicians. But we can make sure that we adapt our teaching methods to accommodate potential issues. Like I had a student who always had the wrong colors when we did an activity where it's like color the balloon red. And she would color her balloon blue. And I wonder, man, does she have a problem with colors? But turns out she only had a problem with directions. She just graduated with honors from an art school. So she clearly did not have issues with colors, but she had issues with following directions because she didn't want to color the balloon red, right? Because she was 3 and didn't see the point of following that direction. So there's a risk if we start trying to say, yeah, ADHD, or yeah, no, he's on the spectrum someplace, or must be dyslexic. It's really not our business. And labels are dangerous. But what we can do is incorporate teaching techniques that make things easier for everybody. Like if you're using crayons in the classroom, you can label the crayons, right? So if you've got a box of crayons, the big ones, you can label green, red. And it's not like the kids can read, but they start matching the pattern of the letters with that color crayon, right? So R for red, for example. And so it's just a little bit of extra support. And also, not freaking out if they decide that the sky should be purple. And I have a feeling that Icha, as a young child, might have had purple skies or purple cows or purple anything, so, there's no accounting for taste sometimes, right? Sometimes kids are just kids. And my opinion personally is that all young children are neurodiverse. They all will exhibit things that if they do the same thing when they're in high school, they may be diagnosed as having a learning disorder, but a lot of it is just being a little kid and trying things out and growing up. Okay, so a couple of things that we can also do to work with the students who may have some problems with reading. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're dyslexic, but maybe they're not getting the words as quickly as some other students. Maybe the words jump around on the page. Maybe they have a hard time going from left to right. There's many reasons that they may have some challenges reading. And we know that listening is the same channel in the brain as reading. They're both input channels. So if you can add audio to the reading, then that's a wonderful thing. Let me share a flip book. Oops, I don't want to do Lex Tutor yet. Okay. So where is my flip book? Oh, you know what? I did the same thing. I have to change my browser window before I can share it. Sorry to be so inept. Okay. Okay, so this is a flip book. Now, I made this in Canva. And Canva connects to Hazine flipbooks, which lets you have a web link that your students can watch it on their phone. They can access it on their iPad or the computer at home. It's free. And here is, it lets you add audio. So here is, and this is my dog. You might hear him howling downstairs because he wants to be upstairs.
Max is a beagle. These are some of the things he likes, and some of the things he doesn't like. Max likes to eat. He eats in the morning and in the evening. When it is time to eat, he is very excited. He also likes to eat paper and grass. Max likes to go outside. He likes to go for walks. Max likes to go to the beach too. He likes to run on the sand, but he doesn't like the waves. Max likes to play with his toys. If you throw his toys, sometimes he brings them back. Max likes to sleep. He takes a nap in the morning. He takes another nap in the afternoon. At night, he is happy to hear, "Go to bed." He loves to go to bed. Max doesn't like to listen. You say, "Don't bark." He barks. You say, "Sit." He doesn't sit. You say, "Come here." Max sits and looks at you. But if you have food for him, Max listens very well. Max is a happy dog. He doesn't always listen, but he's part of our family and we love him.
Okay, so one reason that I would make a flip book like this is it gives my students more reading practice. They can access it on their mobile devices. And it has audio. Now, one main drawback is that it's a fixed format. So it's going to be basically the same size. It doesn't adapt to the screen. Right, so it's a little bit of a negative for it, but having a link that students can just open is a big plus. And the way that I did it is I wrote the story I wanted, I put it into Lex Tutor. Now, the Extensive Reading Foundation also has a great editor for graded readers, and I have a link for that in my links too, but I use Lex Tutor because it's easy. And it does the most frequent words. And so I changed the language to get rid of the less frequent words and simplified it. And then put it into Canva and exported it to Hazine, which is what makes the flip books. Now, the audio is from 11 Labs. It's an AI audio narration. So that Emma, who's narrating it, is not a real person. But it's also free, and it's a wonderful, it's a wonderful thing to explore. Let me go to AI. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And you get all kinds of voices to pick from. So I could also, you see, I want to open up Max. I can usually change the voice. Let me see, I'll go to Brian. And we can hear what Brian sounds like.
In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since.
Okay, and then you can generate it. And you can see that I put in some breaks so that there's some pauses. They've got a whole library of voices and sound effects that you can choose from. A lot of them are free, a few of them are paid, but it's, yeah, I like it. So it does a good job with narration. And one of the things that I like is that it gives my students a chance to hear a voice different from my own. It's a different voice than my own voice. Now, where is my PowerPoint slides? Okay, going back to the slides. Okay, so that is creating a flip book. Any questions? All right. So put it into Hazine. The other, but to give you a comparison, I also used it to make an ebook. Now, this is the only software that I'm using today that actually I had to buy. And I use it a lot, so it was worth it. But with Atticus, you can write in the app, it'll export it in an EPUB that allows you to upload it as an ebook. And the advantage of having it as an ebook is that students can download it to their device. And the text adjusts. So you don't have the format of the picture on one side and the words on another, but you can choose the font. Like here I chose the dyslexic, Open Dyslexic, and you can choose the font size. So students can make it as big as they want. So there are some advantages to ebooks also compared to the flip books. Both of them have value, I think. And it's a great way, like I have done ebooks for my students writing so that they can download it and show their parents too. And there's something really motivating about having something that you've published yourself, right? And you can keep it also private if you prefer. So I have a link for both the flip book, and I have a link for you to download the ebook, Max, and you can download it to your Kindle or your Nook or your iBooks, or you can read it in the browser. And they're both free. So just if you want to play around and see what they're like. So back to balance. I hope you've gotten some ideas on this of how you can balance the challenges of trying new technology with the benefits that you get for your own teaching and your students. And that helps to make sure you don't get overloaded. So like, for example, it takes time to learn how to put together an ebook. But once you've learned how, it's really, really easy. And, you know, today, conveniently, we're starting the next course with Dorothy Zemak for, you know, I learned how to publish ebooks with Dorothy Zemak through ITDI. I learned how to write graded readers with Marcos Benavides through ITDI. So there are classes where you can get the support. So if somehow you saw this and was like, oh, wow, I have ideas for things that I could publish for my students, let me know, because I can get you a discount code. So anyway, we're going to finish up, and you should make sure you stick around, because Budi and Naoko I've seen their slides and they are way better than mine. And so you're going to learn a lot from both of them. And, you should make sure that you bring your lunch and stay for the day. And this is the QR code. If you want all of the links, mine, Budi's, and Naoko's are all on a Google Doc. So, and that's pretty much it for me. Does anybody have any questions or comments before I yield the floor?
Those were really interesting resources, Barb.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And even if we don't use those exact resources, we have ideas that, oh, this kind of thing exists. So,
well, I think the resources I share in workshops are always really easy.
Mhm.
I mean, if it takes a lot of time to make something, like everything has a learning curve, right? Everything. But if you can only use it once after you learn how to use it, it's not worth learning, right? So I try to focus on apps that have a lot of potential for reuse. And, my soapbox is always that I think all teachers should learn how to self-publish, just because it's such a useful skill, whether it's worksheets, vocabulary, stories, the next great fiction book, which seems to be what all the cool ELT people are publishing now. So anyway, any questions in the chat? Let me see. Okay, then it looks like there's no more questions for me. So I'll say thank you for inviting me, and I will turn it over to Icha, Ruthie, and Gabby.
Thank you so much, Barb, for a very, I have few ideas I want to try, especially the voice one, because I use word wall because they also have voice application that games that you could do, because right now
is great.
Yeah, so right now I'm actually teaching Bahasa Indonesia, so I want my students to listen something other than my own voice. So I use Wordwall. So I could definitely use some of the idea that I've got from you today.
Great.
That class. Oh, sorry for the background. Okay. How about if we take a 5-minute breaks maybe before we continue with Budi? So everyone, you can go get a drink or do something, and then we're going back with Budi in 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. Thanks again.
Thank you, Barb. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so one more time, once again, thank you so much for Barb for the excellent presentation, and I made note of what I'm going to try to use. The next presenter is Budi Azhari Lubis, and I really like Budi because again, we met at the conference, right, Budi, a couple of years ago. Budi is a teacher and a co-founder of English Zone. It's a equivalent to Ekawa. It's a school, English school in Tegal. And he graduated from State University of Medan. And I actually went to his school last year, and I was amazed to see what he's done with his school and his students over there. So I'm so happy to have him today to present about the difficulty or technology that he had to use in Indonesia, because I'm from Indonesia too. So I'm pretty sure we used to have the similar things happening to us. So Budi, I'm going to give you a chance to start. Everybody, please welcome Budi.
Hey.
Yay!
Hey. Okay, thank you very much, Yitza. Let me share my screen first. Okay. All right. Can you see? Can you see that? All right.
Yes.
Let me make it bigger, okay? Is it bigger?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, as Yidza said, my name is Budi, and no, my school is not that big, Yidza. Been doing this for years. I mean, struggling to open and start my English course. All right, I'm gonna start with some facts. Do you know that I'm not going to pros and cons about the use of internet and gadgets, but these are some findings that I have found in some journals and also articles. I might give you some minute to read this. Not going to surprise anyone. Probably you have realized the effects of the internet and gadgets, especially some of the research were made in Indonesia. I'm gonna read one. Almost 70% of patients with speech delay at the age of 13 and 36 months has a history and normal health status, and the cause of speech disorders is suspected to due to a lack of speech stimulation factors, and it's because of the internet. Here's a second facts. I might give you some time to read this. I'm gonna read one. The impact of gadgets uses vertigo health problems to trigger cancer. That's from Gamma Technology Volume 17, number 4, research by Annie, 2013-2014. I'm not here to talk about the pros and cons because I myself use the technology. And as Barb says, the key is balance. Although I have problems and struggles with the internet, the infrastructure and everything, I will try to do my best for my students. And of course, try to apply some technology in my class. My name is Budi Azhari Lubis. I am from Medan. Medan is on the east. Sorry, yes, the west part of Indonesia. It's somewhere here. And I traveled to Jakarta and began to work in Jakarta for a couple of months. And then I moved to Tegal. Tegal is about 300 kilometers away from the capital city of Indonesia. Have you been to Indonesia? You may use the chat. Maybe I can answer some of your questions about Indonesia. Let's see. Do you have any questions about Indonesia? By the way, I use the Bing Image Creator to create this page, to create this picture. Let me see. There is a question. My home country. Yes, Yidza, you're from Jakarta. Yes. Yes, there are about more than 17,000 islands. Melanie, you have to try to go to Indonesia. And Indonesia is not just Bali. There are many beautiful islands in Indonesia. If you go to the west coast of Indonesia, you will see beautiful islands, perfect place for surfing and water sport. 17,000, yes, Ruthie, more than 17,000 islands. And more than 250 languages spoken. Yeah, there are more than 250 languages, and there are more than 17,000 islands. So, let me share my next one. Yeah, back in 2000, I actually began my teaching career when I was 16 years old. I went to an English course. If Ruthie put in my bio, I started teaching when I was 16 at an English course. That English course was based on the Indian. The owner was Indian, and he went to an Indian school. So most of my earlier lessons. Most of the English I got is in Indian English. And then in professional working, I began in 2004 up to 2012. Sadly, there's a mutual termination. And I had to start everything beginning from zero. All my students left and all my teachers left. So I was pretty pessimistic, very depressed at the time. In 2012, I started from absolutely nothing. But then I met Yitza, I met Barb, and I'm happy to say that I am a part of ITDI. Might not be the the theorist, a bookmaker, or sort of like thing like Barb or Chuck, or those pictures on the wall. I am just a regular teacher. I'm a practitioner, but I learned a lot from them, and I would like to say thank you very much for them. So this is my old school. I ran 2 rooms in 2012. After the mutual terminations, I rented 2 rooms at this school. That's not the whole building is not mine. I rented 2 rooms only, and it started in 2012, sometime between May or June. So the mutual termination is in February. I didn't know what to do for a month, and then after a couple of months, I met Barb, Yitza, and everybody, and then I began to start my own school. I have the courage. So again, thank you, Barb. This is my school now, very small. I ran this building from a parent. So thanks to him, I got the rent for a very, very affordable price. Right. You probably ask me why I do this, why I like to be a teacher, because I got several reasons. A teacher affects eternity. I will be always happy to see a student coming or call me or text me saying that, thank you very much for the teachings, your teachings, whatever we have in the class works. And now I become a doctor, I become someone. And for a religious reasons, this is a hadith. Hadith is the words by Muhammad, the prophet. When a man dies, his deeds come to an end, except for 3 things: ceaseless charity, a knowledge which is beneficial, or a virtuous descendant who prays for him, the children. So this make me strong. This make me continue working what I love to do. And of course, above all, this makes me in love with teaching kids. The smile, the everything, So this is the reason why I keep continue teaching kids, especially in my own class. These kids, they are now in high school. So it was taken a couple of years ago. And although they don't continue the class anymore, they're living now in different cities in Indonesia. We still keep in touch, and I love to see them. So again, there are many reasons why I love to become a teacher, especially teaching young learners. Now, this is the situation then. Probably some ask me, how is the school? Is it profitable? I say yes, it makes money, but the only reason it is not closed, it's because I never stop. This is the place, and this is the current place of living now in Tegal. Tegal is about 300 something kilometers. Yitza thank you, Yitza and Bun, went to my school to a couple of months ago, and it took 4 hours by train. Yes, Yitza, 4 or 5 hours by
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. I was very happy to see kids are coming to my school and taking this long journey to come to Tegal. Another problem is, and Tegal is not a big city. It is the second smallest city in Indonesia. It is a municipality, and it is the second smallest city in Indonesia. And although it is still in Java, but I do have the problems with especially the internet. So if you see here, our internet speed is just the ninth, ranked 9 in internet mobile and internet fixed broadband. It's number 8. So teaching using internet is somehow troublesome. And I don't have this high-tech technology using the new one in Indonesia. It was Starlink was introduced. Starlink by Tesla. It was introduced, but it is still too much expensive for me. So now I'm using my cell phone as the hotspot. Also, I use this in my school to bring the connection to my laptop. And of course, everybody probably have the same experience with COVID-19. In 2019, up to 2000, for 2 or 3 years, we have so many problems due to technology, due to the COVID-19. English zone closed for almost 6 months without any operation. So again, if you ask me, do you think that it is do you need to continue the school? Yes, because I love the kids. Yes, because I never stop. There are problems, but I will continue teaching it. And of course, if you don't give up, you still have a chance. I began then after what is it? After meeting people online, meeting Barb, and then of course I tried my first using technology back in 2003. It was Rose. Rose was from Brazil, and I met Rose online thanks to Barb again, thanks to IDDI, and then we had this kind of connection with the teacher from other countries, and the students were very excited. And you see that the only technology I have at the time was only a laptop. It's still, but then that laptop was historical. So that is the first time I used technology. Okay, now back to the teaching activity or teaching experience I have. Of course, because the topic today is touch and touch, I believe that all young children learn through meaningful hands-on experience, through touching, doing, and moving. And I've been trying to do this. I've been trying to learn and then applying all the things I learned into the class. Talking about the hands-on sensory materials, I try a lot of things. Now, I'd like to share and I'd like to hear from you what you use in the class, what you try to apply to your class. This is what example that I usually use in the class. I try to get as cheap as possible because I don't have many resources. I use paper, and I try to ask the students to present something. Now, before I move on, maybe I'd like to ask you a few questions. Maybe you can use in the chat. What hands-on sensory materials have you used? And do you use expensive resources? If yes, maybe you can share to us, to me, of course, what resource materials, especially the hands-on materials that you use in the class. Can you share in the chat, please? Thank you, Ruthie. Yes, markers, color pens, Play-Doh. I've never tried doing that using Play-Doh, but I will try. Ruthie, what is sequins? What are they?
In Japanese, they're called spankoru. It's what Barb puts in her kaleidoscopes. Get it? The little sparkly things. Those
yeah.
are sequins.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yiza also. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's yeah. You used to work for Montessori school, yeah. So all the materials are hands-on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I at the school at English Zone, I use a course book named Family and Friends. I've been using it since the school opened, and the the book also includes some of the extra photocopiables materials. So I try to use them, and then a sort of project or an activity at the end after teaching the target language, and then the practice, and then in the part of the production, I ask the students to create a project, and then at the end I ask them to do a short presentation with or without preparations. Some of the students, if I think the students are ready to present without any preparation or without writing the point of the presentations, I ask them to do it, just stand up, and then I take a little video. Why I take the videos? I said to the kids that your mommy love to see you, and won't you like to see your mommy happy? I need to show them the videos, and some of them agree, some of them disagree. So I respect the students' choice. If they agree with if I take the videos in the class, I will take the videos, and sometimes I send to the parents. But again, some parents probably don't like if it is posted on the social media, but I send them on a private message. Some of the projects, these are some of the projects I do. These are the when I teach, when I taught parts of the house, the room, and then the preposition using a simple prepositions like in, on, or under. So as you see, the wardrobe can be open, and inside the wardrobe there is a thing. These photocopiable materials are for free, so I'm happy to use it. And I tried to find some more photocopiables materials to use in the class. This one is a simple activity. All you need is a piece of paper or a big piece of paper. And this topic is a paper. This a project-based learning called Utopia. So I asked the students at the beginning, what is your perfect country? What is the perfect place to live in? What is the problem of the place that you live in now? What is your dream place to live in? And then I asked the students to create a map, and at the end, I asked them to present it. Okay. Another part of the photocopiable materials are these finger puppets. Now, finger puppets are easily printed. If you would like to have some, I would be happy to share with you later on. So we have a song to play. This song is about jobs, and then a simple song about how are you, nice to see you, and then using different characters. And another hands-on material is I still use this. Again, these kids, this photo was taken a couple of years ago. They were now in high school, and I played some games with the students. This one based on the Indonesian traditional games called Cublak Cublak Suung. So one girl on the right, sorry, one girl or one student's bow, and then the others put their palm on the shoulder, and then we hid an eraser or rubber while singing the song, and then someone held this rubber or a thing, and then the students who bowed need to guess who was the one who kept the rubber or the thing. And the other one is the catch the finger game. So I try to use these traditional games into teaching English. So when someone put the palm down and then other students put their fingers on the one who held the palm will try to catch the finger. And the one who was caught had to answer questions. These questions can be a revision or it can be a practice for new target language we discussed. Okay, now maybe you can use the chat again. Let me see the chat. What do you think are the benefits of using hands-on sensory materials? Again, I'm not a theorist like Barb. I'm just a teacher practitioner. So I would love to learn from you. What do you think are the benefits? Maybe you can use the chat, or you can just start talking. Maybe just respond as soon as possible. What are the benefits of using hands-on sensory materials? Let me see on the chat. Yes, we recycle all sort of things to make things. I believe that you've been doing this for years, probably. Yes. Yes. Sensory systems for young learners. We need to develop their sensory systems. Yes. They need to have the real touch of the thing that they learn, and then get the real context for so whatever they learn, that they have to see the context. Yes, the senses are emotional. Thank you, Ruthie. I just mentioned maybe a few benefits. Of course, students will have a deeper understanding rather than just when the teacher talk in front of the class. They have this deeper understanding of what the lesson they are learning. And of course, by using the hands-on sensory materials, they have a long-term memory. They remember what they did in the class. And when we review the lessons, and when we do the repetition, they remember because they have a real, they have the touch. Okay, as they said, you guys said earlier, yes, the motor skill development. Okay, now we move on a bit with the technology. Why should I apply technology in the class? As we know that the future is accelerating. We are surrounded by technology. And it is our job as a teacher to adapt to a changing world. And we need to apply it. But as Barb say, we need the balance, of course. This is what I took the slides from my presentation years ago. In 2013, I did a present. So it's been like 11 years. I haven't done this since 2013 for making presentations. So 21st century students will use a multitude of technology to access content, demonstrate mastery, publish their work, maintain a portfolio of their skills, and interact with the world. And again, as the teacher, we need to adapt, we need to learn, and I have to use this in the class. Okay, another survey I would like to ask you: why is technology important in early childhood education? You can use the chat, please, or you can, maybe you have ideas. Why do you think we need technology? As a limited technology user, I've questioned myself, should I continue doing this, using technology in the class? I know that the policy in the class is students don't bring the cell phones because of course, several reasons. Kids, they don't know when to play and when to use the cell phone in the class. I mean, they usually play games. So for me, the policy is, I ask the parents, please don't let the kids bring the cell phones. It's gonna be a big distractions in the class. So Maybe you can share, why is technology important? Yeah, students are very more creative than us. Yes, I personally, I told my students that I don't know how to play online games. And then using that topic, online games, I can talk to them long hours. I mean, when they're excited with the topic they're talking about, they will talk, you know. And more games are the most interesting topic to talk about. So I honestly, I don't play games, but I know some games. I've never played, but then it is a chance for me to ask them the questions like, who's your best character? Why do you like this character? Let me see, there are more messages. To help with the digital literacy. Yes. We have to use technology to reach out. Yeah. I used the technology during Corona, of course. Corona, there was a blessing in disguise when we had the Corona. Of course, I closed for 6 months. People were freaked out, and a couple of months after we closed, 1 or 2 classes asked me to have an online class. I didn't know anything about Zoom, and then happy or not, I had to adapt and I learned. Okay, so I probably can mention a few. Okay, of course, kids will be very happy, will be very excited. They have bigger motivation when we use technology in the class, whatever the technology is. Yes, as I said, we don't use the cell phone in the class. I am the one who has the technology in the class. I use my laptop and connect it to the TV. I had the TV inside the class, and then I use the PowerPoint. I use some applications in the class or AI. So I'm the one who use the technology in the class. And of course, personalized learning. It can be more personalized when sometimes I ask the students to give a link to the students so they can try to do this exercise at home or try to do their project at home. And of course, it enhances development of critical skills. Okay. Now, so let's combine it. How? What are the benefits of combining those technology with the hands-on sensory materials? Again, you may use the chat, please. Please share with me. I'm happy to learn from you. What are the benefits of combining, using the hands-on with the technology? Again, technology is something new for me, and I really wish to learn from everybody. And thank you for the chance, Jal. Please, you can share. Get the best of both worlds, of course, when we combine both. Thank you, Yudza. I met Yudza back in 2013, Yudza, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was in Semarang.
Yeah. And then everybody started calling me Budi call. Thank you, Ruthie. Yes. Right. Oh yeah, Pinterest. I haven't made use of Pinterest a lot. Maybe later you can share how to use Pinterest. All I know is Pinterest is a source to get pictures. Okay, let's see. Of course, the reinforcement and applications. When we have a project, then we can apply using the technology. The kids are, again, more engaged in the class. They are very happy to see what they have done and then how we do it in using the technology. Okay. So again, as I said, my school is not a big one. I really wish to connect to other schools, especially in Japan and other schools in Indonesia. I do have challenges when starting up the school. And of course, if we talk about combining technology and hands-on materials, I have the resource problem. What I can do is try to learn from, sometimes people post on social media about new AI or new technology, courses. I'm really interested in learning, and I've been trying to connect with other teachers, and of course taking the course, applying some of the informations about technology and applying AI into my class. And of course, the other problem is how to integrate this into the curriculum. As I said, we use Family and Friends course book. So I try to link, try to connect the technology or the AI, whatever AI I use, into the curriculum or the lessons that we are learning. And of course, another problem is the teaching trainers, training for teachers. So I have currently only 4 teachers in the class, including me. So there are 3 teachers, and sometimes it might be difficult for me to share what I know, what I learn into real teaching training, because most of my teachers are other teachers at the formal school, because my school is only operating in the afternoon. Okay, this one is, I don't know, when Ruthie asked me about this presentations, about this event, Ruthie was interested in this. And this one was an activity we created with the students using only a piece of paper. I got this material from, again, photocopiable material from Family and Friends. I asked the students to, at the beginning, of course, we learn parts of the bodies, and then we learn the target language using has got or has, and then at the end, of course, there will be a presentations. This is the how we do it. So we have the template. I asked the students to do following these instructions. I sometimes help them with the cutting, because some of the kids are not able to use scissors, and I'm very worried about if they use scissors. So following these instructions, and then we have a paper lion. And at the end, of course, there is a class presentation. So I asked the students to present the project using the simple target language that we have learned. Now, from this, this is when I go into the technology. After the students finished using the project, they went home, and then I tried to extend the lessons. I tried to reuse the target language for the next day. So I tried to use some AI or technology. This one I use, if you see the pictures, I use Bing Image Creator. All you need to do is just put some prompts, the comments, and then you get the pictures. You can use these pictures to create a stick puppet, maybe, or maybe you can use this as a stick and paste, maybe another activities. And I put this into, I try to create a story for the next meeting using the character lion.
The lion is a big, strong animal with golden fur. It is often called the king of the jungle because it's powerful and brave. Lions live in groups called tribes and make loud roars. They eat meat and have sharp claws and teeth.
So I use TikTok to recreate this presentation from students. Of course, the students' power presentations were not as complex as the content of the videos. So I created a bit more. So in the hope that in the next meeting, there is a new target. We can review the target language we learned the day before using have got, part of the body, and then a bit more we're using simple present tense. So connecting the lesson before and then introduce new lessons by using the students' presentations. Okay, another story I made is the story of still the lion, because still connected to the meeting before. I asked the students to watch this video.
Once upon a time, in the lush jungle, there lived a mighty lion named Leo. Leo was feared and respected by all the animals in the jungle because of his strength and power. One day, while taking a nap under a shady tree, Leo was awoken by a tiny mouse named Mia. Mia had accidentally woken up Leo while scurrying around looking for food. The lion roared in anger and was about to devour the little mouse when Mia pleaded for her life. She promised Leo that she would help him in the future if he spared her life. Amused by the mouse's offer, Leo decided to let her go. Some time passed, and one day, Leo found himself trapped in a hunter's net. He roared for help, but no one came to his rescue. Just when he thought all hope was lost, he heard a tiny voice calling out to him. It was Mia, the mouse, who had come to his aid. Using her sharp teeth, Mia gnawed through the ropes of the net and set Leo free. Grateful for her help, Leo thanked Mia and realized that even the smallest creatures can make a big difference. From that day on, Leo and Mia became unlikely friends, and the animals in the jungle learned that kindness and bravery can come from the most unexpected places. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a
Okay. I create the story from nothing. So I first prepared the pictures from the Bing Image creators, some pictures, put in the prompts, of course, and then use the TikTok to put the pictures together, and then put some music, and also from the TikTok. Oh no, from the CapCut. So I use the CapCut to make the video first, and then send it to TikTok. From the CapCut, we can use we can put as the sound, the voice. So you don't have to put your own voice. If you are, I'm not that confident if I put my voice into the videos. So I created the voice, and you can use CapCut easily. I am not an artistic. I don't know how to use to draw pictures, but thanks to AI, it helps me a lot. It helped me a lot into preparing the class. Okay, that's one of the project in the class. The second activity is we create monsters. So to create the monsters, again, all you need is a piece of paper. You don't need to have long preparations for this. All you need to do is just prepare 2 pieces, 3 pieces, depend on how many students you have. Now, first, I ask the students to fold the paper into 4 like this. Okay, so part 1 or section 1, section 2, section 3, and then section 4. So I asked the students, can you fold the paper? And I showed them how to. And then I said, we are going, of course, this project is after teaching or reviewing parts of bodies, and then the other target language like present tense or using has or can. And then for these projects, again, all you need to do is preparing a piece of paper like this, and then ask the students to fold it into 4. And then I said, okay, section 1, all you need to do is draw the head. Just draw the head, whatever head you say you want to. This is a monster, so be imaginative, be crazy as you can. I said to my student, this is Elaine. Elaine made this head, the section 1. When the head is done, I asked them to fold it, and I said, pass the paper to your friend on your right. So the first picture, the next student should not open. I said, the students, please don't open the earliest picture. All you need to do is, in section number 2, draw the body. Body means arms, hands, fingers, legs. That's all. All you need to do in section number 2 is draw the hand, the arms, and fingers. And then section number 3 is draw the leg. I said, draw the leg only. Okay, to make sure that the students know how to continue, I said the students, please make sure at the border line, make the line to so that the second student or the next students can continue the picture. But you are not allowed to see the picture. I said the picture before. So they, like for example, in section number 1, they have to draw at the border line, they have to draw the neck, and then in the part number 3, they have to draw the waist or the hip. And then in section number 3, draw the leg. And then I asked the students, don't draw the feet, just the leg. And then make the border line just 2, maybe 3 or 4 lines, so that the last students will know what to draw. The legs, whatever legs it is. I said it can be fish legs, frog legs, or anything. And surprisingly, but to their surprise, this is what they happen. And these pictures we do together. Students don't know what they are drawing, and then we have the element of surprise. So when they open the picture, they say, "Wow, this is a crazy monster." These are some of the work from my students. So there are 4 students in the class, and they have 4 different characters. And every sections were drawn by different persons. So you can see that the picture is totally amazing. You know, the kids have really good imaginations. Now, to add to this, to expand again the lesson, after the project's done, I asked the students to do presentations. I want them to talk about the legs, how many legs, how many eyes, the color, and so on. And after the class finished, at home or after the class, I use this So this was voiced by my original students. So when they for this project, I asked the students, "Can we record your voice while presenting?" She said, "Okay." And then I use to make the picture move. You can use an AI called Animate Your Picture, and then I put it into the CapCut, put the music, put the voice also, and then you know what happened? The day after the next meeting, I showed this video to the students, and they will say, "Wow, the monsters can walk, the monsters can dance." There are other 4 pictures, but I just put one picture here, one project here. Okay. Okay. For the next one, to extend the lessons, to have a good repetition of the class activity, I using the prompt, I try to recreate the picture using the Bing Image Creator. It might be different, yes, but that is the point of the class. I asked them to talk about what are the difference. So we have a new picture, and then I asked the students to compare the pictures. So this is again another revision for the target language, the vocabulary that we learned the other day. They were excited because they can see a different picture, recreated by an AI. Okay. Again, they don't do this on their own. I do this after the class, and then the next class I showed them that can you compare these pictures that created by AI, and then they were happy to see it. Okay. So that is the what is it? Project number 2. I do trying to do a lot of things, but I can only show you some because of the time. And then another one is when the students present, I can use, some students are too shy to, to show their face. So after I take the videos and then to show them again, after I take the videos, I use lensgo.ai. Now this AI can change the face of the students into a Pixar-like picture. So you can imagine that how excited, how surprised they were when I showed them, this is your videos. And then they said, we can do more, but I'd like you to do more presentations. And they agreed. So it gives sort of motivations, more motivation to the students. Another one is using the Bing Image Creator or any other picture creating AI to create pictures that probably we can never imagine. This one is an activity where I ask the students to describe animal, the pictures, and then play the game called true or false, truth or lies. So once I give this picture to one student, and then the students say, they have to describe it. They can say the truth or they can lie. Again, although limited, I'm really thankful to AI, technology, PowerPoint, gadgets, and everything, because I can do something that I can imagine before. I think that you can do much better than this, right? This is very hilarious. You can imagine how the students try to lie about the picture or try to tell the truth with making the expression. It's a good combination using the touch and the text also. And of course, using Gmeet, or Zoom in the class. Although the connection is at the few months during the COVID, I have to use Zoom a lot or Gmeet a lot. And again, due to the limited financial problem at the time, I just used the free Zoom, so which is only 40 minutes. So I said to the student, our class is 1 hour 20 minutes. I said, because my Zoom is limited to only 40 minutes, we have 2 sessions, okay? And then say they agree. So kids were excited also, trying to put some technologies, whatever it is to make the students happy and excited. Okay, so almost the end. These are some of the AI or application that I use that helps me a lot, and I think you have used it. You can explore more. I myself is not an expert of this. I've been trying to keep on learning, watching from social media how to use Canva a lot. And also, I'm not trying to become a famous content creator, but I think at TikTok there are not many educational materials, and I think why not starting it? Kids now don't use Facebook anymore. Few use Instagram. TikToks are trends, and I've been trying for a couple of months since January. So far, I only got 1,000 followers, but it never stops me. I have fun making materials for TikTok, so parents can see again, students can see again, whatever they do in the class. And again, CapCut helped me a lot. We can create videos, put the music in, use voice. You can use your own voice. You can use someone else's voice. There are options of voices that you can use into your videos. And then you can share it into social media, or you can put it in TikTok. Now, again, as I said, the world is changing. There's so many AIs that we can explore as a teacher. I don't share this to students, of course, but as a teacher, I need to learn about this and try to use it in the class. We can make logo, we can use AI to make audio, making presentations, Midjourney, Gencraft, Leap, Zapier to make pictures. It's very helpful for me who live far away from the big cities and have a very limited resources. But again, I know what to use. I need to learn about what are the benefits. But it's always excited to learn something new. And as Yidza mentioned earlier, I also put this into the class at the worldwall.net. You can get your, again, because of limited, I just use my free plan. So you can create, if you use free, you can create 6 or 5 free activities in the class. And I use this in the class a lot. For some activities like the tongue twister, I play truth or dare in the class, teaching phonics, and then the first class or the first activity in class to get to know each other. This, again, World War is highly recommended. And of course, YouTube. YouTube helps me a lot also to give to show videos. And of course, I love Eric's Elf Kids videos. I met Eric myself in Jakarta. I learned a lot from his videos. Thank you, Eric. If not because of ITDI, I will not have met Eric, of course. He gave me a CD from his Elf Kids video, so I'm very grateful. As I said, technology helps us, but technology is just a tool in terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them to help them. Of course, the teacher is the most important part. Despite all the problems, despite everything that happens, just for your information, Indonesia have been trying to improve the quality of teaching English in the class, have been trying. So of course, there are many things probably government school teachers still have the problems, but the government have been trying to provide trainings, the technology, but that's for private government teachers. I'm not a government teacher, so I try to seek everything by my own. Again, I agree with Steve. Okay, technology is nothing, but what's the most important thing is we have faith in people. Sometimes when people are basically good and smart, about the pros and cons using AI or not using AI, well, it depends on the persons. It depends again on the teachers. And I believe that technology won't replace teachers. It helps teachers, but it won't probably replace any teachers. Okay, and that's it. I hope I don't go so much fast. It's 10 o'clock. I'm happy if you have any questions. I'm sorry if I started a bit, but I'm really happy to connect with you, everybody. Again, to learn and also to share some of the things that I know. If you have any questions, feel free to text me here on the chat or go ahead, just talk.
Budi,
Okay.
Gabi asked before how old were the students when they first start learning English in Indonesia?
In Indonesia, elementary school students, age 7. Now there is a new policy that school students or elementary school students should be 7. Although some private schools, some of the children, they put the children to school when they were 6 or 5. But the government rule is they go to elementary school when they're 7. So the problem is not all schools are provided with English teaching, and we don't. The government schools don't have enough teachers to teach English to young learners. And for Indonesia, English is still for elementary school students. it is still local content. So it depends on the school. If the school can provide teachers for English, then they can have. But there is no obligation for elementary school students to have English lesson in the class. Now,
It's
that's a
very
chance.
different from
That's
Japan.
a chance for me for English course.
Right.
What Japan used to be like, yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, Budi, if the education system was more similar to Japan, where all places were equal and education system in public schools were more reliable, students would come to you with an already higher level, right? How many times a week do they come to your school?
Regularly, the class comes twice in a week for
Wonderful.
1 hour, 20 minutes.
That's wonderful. You can do a lot in that time. Whereas on the other hand, in Japan, it's rare that we'll find families committed to putting their kids in an after-school program twice a week.
Mm.
Once a week is standard, and it's a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Yeah. Again, in government elementary school, they don't have English teachers unless the schools are ready. And if the schools are ready, then they begin teaching learning English when they are in the 4th grade. So no English at all in the 1st grade, 2nd grade, or 3rd. But then if the school is able to provide English teachers, then they can have a English class beginning at grade 4, 5, and 6. So parents who come to my school they said that we don't have any English lessons. We need English for the students. They know how important is English. So that is a chance. That's opportunities for English courses.
How young
Okay.
are your youngest students?
They began at English Zone.
Yeah.
The students, I asked the students who come to or register, at least they're 6 years old. Actually, I provide classes for very young learners also, but most students come to the school because of Mr. Budi. If I offer them to have other teachers, most parents say, can we have the class with you? And then I said, it's probably impossible. And teaching very young learners consumes the whole energy, because I don't just sit down, we dance, we move, we do projects. So I feel really tired after teaching, but I'm ready to teach very young learners.
Okay.
Thank you.
Itza,
so much,
anything
Budi.
else? Any more questions? That is my WhatsApp and telephone number, of course. If you want to share, if you want to connect, I will be very happy. Of course, I want to learn from every teachers here, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Budi.
Thank you so much, Budi.
That was really interesting.
Thank you, Budi.
Very, very interesting, and how you manage to combine, technology and the hands-on when you and your school is in Tagal, which is like you said, it's a small city. I've been there, and when I used to teach, I teach in Jakarta, which is like a big city, so we had more resources. So I'm amazed with what you could do in your school. But of course, I've seen it with my own hands, with my own eyes, what you've done. So thank you so much, Budi. And I guess we would have another 5 minutes because before we start with Naoko. Okay, so please be back in 5 minutes, and Naoko.
Okay.
See you then. Okay, everyone, welcome back. And the next presenter is Naoko. Naoko is an Eikawa owner of Yellow Banana Academy, as written in her t-shirt there.
Yeah.
Based in Kishiwada, Osaka. Her journey as an educator has been shaped by her experience in collaborative learning. If you follow her school's Instagram or Facebook page, you would see that the school has done a lot of things, a lot of courses. They also have study abroad program in Australia right now. So they've done a lot, and it's been wonderful seeing the journey that Naoko has been doing in her teaching. And in here, Naoko said that he will talk about using touch as making connection, something that, of course, we need to do also in the classroom. So I'm so happy for Naoko. I presented with Naoko twice in JALT, so
Yes.
so yay, Naoko. Okay, Naoko. Please, enjoy Naoko presentation, everyone.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so can you see the screen?
Yes.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for staying to listen to my presentation. Yeah, so I'm very excited to talk about my experience today.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, so let me introduce myself. Okay, my name is Naoko Amano. I run an English language school in a unique town called Kishiwada in southern Osaka. I've been teaching English for 15 years and founded the Yellow Banana Academy 8 years ago. Yeah, I used to work for the trading company. It's an old Japanese trading company. It's very traditional, but I really wanted to use English at work. So I changed the company to the logistic company from Germany. Yeah. And I quit the job because I got married and I get pregnant. So I quit the job, but after I birthed two daughters, and one of my friends lives in Florida. She is an English teacher in Florida for a long time. I mean elementary school teacher. So she gave me some textbook which she used at school, and that when I saw that, it was the first time to see the English book is written in English. You know, in Japan we can see many English book, but there are so many explanation in Japanese. So that was really inspired me, and that is a trigger to start to teach English. Yeah, and this is my school, Yellow Banana Academy, and YBA started with us only 30 students.
Naoko, I'm sorry to stop you, but we cannot see all the way to, can you make it your screens bigger, or so we can see all the way down?
Okay.
Sorry.
Now I can see all the way down.
Good. Thank you,
Okay,
Naoko.
Thank you. Wait a moment, please. All right, can you see all of them? Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Yes, this is my school. My YBA started with only 30 students, and we have now 110 or more students. And I aim to create a classroom where students feel comfortable and naturally acquire English skills that will be useful in their future. Yeah. And recently I have the student got a good result of the learning English, and just last week I got the phone call from the students he's going to go to the university in Korea. And also, and some of the students go to the international high school. And also they are really interested in global communications, and they chose IB programs. So I think that is gradually I got a good result and what I want. I'm so happy to hear that news. Yeah. So today, yeah, I will presenting on the terms of themes of tech and touch. So I want to share how my small English school has grown through word of mouth. I didn't do any sort of big advertisement, but with many students attending for years and even returning after graduation. So I hope my presentation will provide useful insights for your schools. And then the purpose of my presentation is to share my experience and insights. While I can't guarantee that everything I talk about will be applicable to your schools, but I hope you will find some valuable takeaways. Okay. So now let's start with the technology tools used inside the classroom. The first tool I'd like to introduce is the presentation tool that comes with many textbooks right now. But for example, the Let's Go series I use has presentation tool that is very helpful for conducting active lessons. Okay, so as you see in the picture, by projecting the textbook content on the monitor, students stay focused. And yeah, in the past, some students would get distracted by their textbooks and good doodling or studying their work early. And some girls started to put eyelash and cheek colors and so on the Kate's face. But however, with the presentation tool, students don't open their textbooks until it's time for the exercise. So this creates a clear distinction between learning and the English expression and practice them. It allows students to concentrate better during the lesson. For the teacher, not having to hold the textbook means both hands are free to engage with the class activities using gestures and movements. So it helps keep the students' attention and make the lesson more dynamic. Students are less likely to lose track of where they are in the lesson, and they love the interactive games that are included. I usually spend less than 15 minutes over 60 minutes lesson with open textbooks, focusing on interested on activities that make learning more engaging. Yeah, and I will show you later, but the presentation tool has helped us create more student-centered lessons. Also, online practice has students to review the lesson. So let me share classroom tool and online practice. Okay. Oops. Can you see screen? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. This is the presentation tool from Let's Go. And as you see, these pages are exactly the same as their students' textbook. And I don't let them open the textbook, but I show those pages they are going to learn at that day on the monitor. Then I think as you know, it can play the audio like this.
Page 52. Let's learn more. A. Learn the words. Number 1.
Yeah, okay, so you can see the sound. And I like the presentation too, because there is some other pages like this. So this is a small exercise. I show this on the monitor and I give the students to discuss about the answer in some group or the pair so that they can work together. And also, the book, the presentation too has some game. Okay, this one is a spelling game. If you make
L,
the balloon is going down and it will, burst. Now, this is also, it's very simple game, but when we do it in a classroom, they are so exciting. That's shown
behind.
Yes. Okay, so this is the Let's Go presentation tool. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any question right now? You okay? Okay, so now let's move on. Okay. Okay, so the second tool is Gamelize. Okay, it significantly aids students in improving their vocabulary and grammar through repetitivity practice. So students create, okay, so I'm going to show what is this actually. There is a site. Okay. Here. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, where is the screen? Right. Okay. So I'm going to play. Okay, so they create, students create their avatars and go on adventures, learning the full language skills through various missions. Okay, let's see the mission.
Hungry. Mouth.
My English lessons are fun.
Yeah, and also they when they get on the point, and then they will make their own kingdom. Yes. This is so exciting game. And okay, so the points earned from completing the missions can be used to build their kingdom, as you see. And we use this tool during our self-study time before and after lessons. So in my school, elementary school students' lesson is 60 minutes English lesson and 20 minutes self-study time. So they do worksheets or their homework at their their review at the self-study time. And also they can play Gamelize after they finish their task. So if the accessory boys, they don't like to do some worksheet. So even students who struggle with the worksheet are motivated to finish quickly so they can play Gamelize. So, and the tool can be tailored to align with our curriculum, making it invaluable resources. So they can learn, I use Let's Go. So, and the Gamelize can offer the Let's Go curriculum. So they can learn in a class and also in a game. Okay, so there, yes.
Oh, Budi asked, can we use it in Indonesia?
Oh, I asked the creator, and it is going not in Indonesia, but it's they are trying to expand in Asia, I heard. So Vietnam is going, in Vietnam, the game will be launched soon. So Indonesia is soon, I hope. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yep. And yes. Okay. So, and I have some videos my students playing. So please watch. Okay. He's trying to collect spelling.
どこが違うの？俺 D って言った。want to やったや正解や。違う。
He tried many times. Clear. Yes. So he doesn't like to do the worksheet, but he likes to playing Gamelize. That's why he started to focus on the worksheet. So it's a good tool to help teacher, actually. Okay.
So Naoko,
Yes.
let's see. Budi asked,
Okay.
the Oxford Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
The option for slideshow that you showed, is that included with the book? It is.
Yeah, that is included in the teacher's pack.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a separate purchase?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but we have to buy the teacher's pack, but the teacher's pack is really useful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gabi asked if the Gamerize app is free.
I looked at it, but
actually it's not. Yeah, it's not. So I charge the Gamelize the account price and included in an annually textbook fee, so that I can provide the students. And I heard that some school provide Gamelize only for after school students. So there are many ways to provide to the students, I think. Yeah, I can if you are interested, I can introduce the creator directly. So please let me know.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this is Gamelize. Okay. All right. And then one more thing I'd like to talk about is Class Dojo. I think the class dojo is very famous, and some I heard many. I heard that 90% of elementary school in USA use the class dojo as a school application. Oh, sorry. Oops, sorry about. Okay, can you see? Oh, sorry. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so this is class dojo. Yeah. Okay, and so we start each lesson with class dojo for attendance, and it helps us track absence. So I will share my school's class dojos. Okay, so here is some monster. Here are the monster. They are student. And we can add the attendance like this. And we can keep attendance like that. And also there is during the lesson, I can give them a point. Like if they submit the homework and then super great student, if they win the game, and we can give them a point. And so because they and also the point will be changed the money, like the fake money, which is I make in school, and then they can buy some small toys and snacks at the end of the semester. So they are really hard to get the point. And these are the positive point, but also there is a negative point. This hit the teacher, this is a joke, but there is speak a lot of Japanese. So the speak little Japanese, I put the negative point like this because they started to, chat. Once they and also I like the class dojo because we can share the class story. Okay, so the class dojo can connect to their parent, the students' parents, and they can, I upload the class, and every teacher, students' parents can see what we did in a class, and also I will share the homework as an event like this. Okay. The class dojo is the free application. Everybody can use it free. Here is some short video.
Does Mary go to the park? Oh, yeah. I think there are many, but he doesn't remember. Yeah.
Because I showed my negative point to them, they tried to use English during the lesson. It worked. Yeah. Okay. So this is the class dojo. Yeah. And class dojo also has useful feature like timers and the London pickers, which are great for keeping the class organized and engaged. We use these tools to ensure our lessons run smoothly. So Class Dojo allows us to share update about the lessons and homework assignments with each class. It also facilitate one-on-one interactions with both students and the parents, and playing a virtual role in building effective communication. Yeah. Okay, so I will show how to do the random picker. Okay. Oops. Okay, so here, so we can choose the students and get the point, and also timer is here. Okay, and I assigned or I always assign the reading sentences, and the students post their reading on a portfolio.
Incredible teens. Prodigy are people with excellent skill in areas such as art or music. Very often, they are expert even before they become teenagers.
Yeah. So that I can check their reading, and also I can comment, and he can get the point as well. Yes. Yes, this is the class dojo. Okay.
Now, though,
Yes.
Gabi asked if the students can see their points.
Yes, they can. And the parents also can see the points. So yeah, so if I give them when I see the portfolio, they will notice.
So how much time do you spend as a teacher keeping up with Class Dojo, posting your assignments and checking homework?
Oh, yeah. For me, I have for me not so long time, because the class story is a short messages, so maybe 15 minutes or so. And the homework checking is I check the homework before the 1 day before, or the few hours before the lesson. So totally maybe 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, but it's fun to see, and I can think about the next lesson, what to do. I can see it. So I think this is very important.
So
Yeah.
maybe it's more effective than something like Padlet, which is more general.
Yeah.
Dojo, like specifically for class management.
Yeah, I feel that. I used to use the Padlet, but the students, more students are interested in a class dojo.
Interesting.
Because of because of the monsters and the points. Yeah.
Monsters. Budi loves monsters too.
Yeah. Yeah. So they can change arrange their their monsters. Yeah. And also it has dojo islands. This one is this one is the island. They can play with the classmates. This is also free. So when they sometimes I do it when we have time, I can give them the tablet, and they can log in a classroom, and then they go to the dojo island, and then they talk in a dojo island. Yeah, I should have the take photos, but I couldn't have a chance to do that this time, but they can do it.
So
it's also
all this on the free version?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's
So yeah. But we have to be careful because sometimes the class dojo leads to the to the subscribe being thing, but there is no thanks button, so you can skip the subscription so that you can use the free. Yes. Okay. And also, I am the class school administrator, so I write some school stories, and I informed some events, so that every student can see from the information from the school and also from their own class. It's very useful, I think. Yes.
What kind of information do parents need to give you to have access? Do they need an email address, or do they just have a link?
Yeah, they need email address.
Okay. And you feel it's easy for your parents to navigate?
Oh yeah, yes. But some parents who doesn't like to use the computer things, we have to advise them. But most of the time they can do them by themselves. There is some QR code we can create from. Oh, I will show you. Okay. For example, okay, there is we can get the information like class text code that we can share. So there are so many materials to invite the class dojo account. So it's much easier to invite the parents to the class dojo. Yes. Okay. Right. So do you have any question about the class dojo? You okay?
Satomi has a question.
Okay.
Siblings, do they need to have different email addresses?
No, they can use the same email address, and then parents can change just add their children at the same email address. So that's easy. Just add the parents account. So the parents can have two children. Yes. Okay. Anything else? Okay.
For a free resource, it seems amazing, Naoko.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pay for Padlet.
Oh,
and I
yeah. Oh, yeah.
like it, but this is tempting.
So yeah, please try. Please try and see it how it goes. I like it. It's interesting to use this tree. I enjoy it. Reset tree. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so now I'd like to talk about the touch part. I mean, human touch part. So building a relationship with students is crucial, and effective communication involves setting clear goals and providing appropriate feedback, and setting achievable goals and advising students on how to reach them turns passive learning into active learning. So giving appropriate feedback when students achieve their goals also important. So if not only help students feel sense of accomplishment, but also build their self-esteem, I believe. So informing parents about their children's achievements allows for positive reinforcement at home as well. And Gamelize and Let's Go can be used independently by students at home. But it's important for teachers to invest time in setting them up and providing feedback. So by incorporating gamification elements and maintaining regular communication, we can foster a self-motivated and continuous learning environment. So lastly, I want to share a significant project we run every year, our Australian study tour. So we take about 10 students to Cairns in Australia, where they participate in a homestay program at the language school in their language school in Cairns. So this 1 week program costs around 400,000 yen per student. And the trust we built with parents through daily communication plays a crucial role in their willingness to send their children. So also in Cairns, I work very hard. During the stay, students live with their homestay families and engage in English speaking activities. Although they are local staff, I also monitor the students and ensure they stay in English mode. So my effort inspired the students to speak English more confidently with their host families, and resulting in a highly rewarding experience. So every year, so I'm going to go to Cairns next March as well, but I still already have the 3 students booking. So I think that this project that what I am doing is, that they believe what I am doing for the students. Yeah, so it's really because of the connection, and they trust me. So I'm really appreciate about it.
Naoko, Gabby asked, how do you prepare the students?
For the Cairns?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I will make, I have the self-study club called YBA Study Club. And once they apply to the Cairns, I let them come to the study club, and I make a special club for the Cairns club, and I let them write the me book. So the me book is like they prepared one notebook, and the book is all about them, like what they like, and they write about their own thing, and what they like, what food do they like, and what's their favorite food, or what to do after school. And also they write about their families and their friends, and everything is information about them. So that is a task to make. To make a me book is one task. And during making the me book, we do the lesson in English so they can practice the conversation. So that is a preparation for the study program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Right. Okay. So in conclusion, the technology has revolutionized the way we teach and learn, but it is the human touch that truly makes difference. At Yellow Banana Academy, I've been firsthand how integrating tech tool like presentation software, Gamealize, and Class Dojo can enhance engagement and learning outcomes. However, it's our personal connection with students and parents that foster trust and create a supportive learning environment. Yeah, I hope the insights I've shared today inspire you to blend technology and personal interaction in your teaching practice. So please remember, it's not just about the tool we use, but how we use them to connect, motivate, and support our students. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any question you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Naoko.
Hey, Gyoko.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Naoko.
Thank you.
So any question for Naoko?
Yidza, I just asked about the maybe it's just like Ruthie about how long does she need to check everything on the class dojo, because if we have so many classes, then it's probably too too complicated to check everybody.
Mhm. Yes, at first it took time to post the class story, but I have a lesson plan in Google Slide, and when I make a lesson plan, I copy that and I make some draft to post the class dojo. So I just paste to the class dojo, and then I just put the photo. So recently I don't take time to post.
But I saw that you gave individual feedback students on their homework.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that too, and it takes time, but
yeah,
that's what builds trust and a deeper relationship is the feedback is so personalized.
Mm-hmm.
I really respect that you take the time to do that.
I think it's most important thing. So outside of the classroom is how to spend outside the classroom and how to connect with the students outside of the classroom is the key to, to keep their motivation to study English. So I make effort to do that. Yes.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Naoko.
Thank you.
I'm curious about the points on class dojo. Can other parents see what Taro-kun's points are? And oh, look, that kid has a lot of negative points. Are the points private, or can they be seen by all the kids?
Points are private, so they cannot see.
Good.
They cannot see only their children.
I think that's appropriate.
Yes.
If I were a parent, I'd be checking. Oh,
yeah. So.
And Naoko, what are the students' response to the negative, the point? If they have lesser point or they get minus point, I used to have a students, I didn't use class dojo, but it was just traditional class. I said, if you're doing great, I put extra 2-star or 1-star. But if you speak Bahasa or you've been naughty in the class, and I minus or I erase the star. The kid didn't want to come anymore.
Yeah, actually, I rarely give the minus point. I just warning. I made my negative point to warn them. So when the students were starting to playing, and I show that, and I show the point, and they will stop like that. So if they stopped, I don't give them the minus point, negative point. So I rarely do that.
Because some students cannot handle that, right? They want to win, but they don't want to lose.
Parents as well. Yeah.
So just the warning, yeah.
Well, if I may share, because what I used to work in Indonesia is a Montessori school, and we were not allowed to, do like enhance like negative behavior, but we also not allowed to like erase someone's work or things like that, because it could it would not be beneficial for their confidence. So what I usually do is like, okay, you're not doing well, but that means your next point I withhold your points. So even though you're supposed to get a point, I withhold it for a while until you reach. So I didn't erase, but I said I'm gonna hold on to your next point until you really earn it.
Yeah. So I make making effort point. So if they can't go, they can't achieve the goal, I will give them making effort point. So that point is the same, same 1 point. So totally. So if I open the box, they are same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I tell them is like if the students help the other students, I say, oh, Nani Nani kun is helping Nani Nani chan. I say to in front of the students, and I give the point. So those good points I will inform them, and then put the point, and then they will, oh, okay, so she's good, that's why she got that point. So I do that. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because we don't really want our students to do things because of the points only. But it is good to for them to know that their behavior sometimes aren't acceptable in the classroom. Because especially if you have like large classes, like how many students in your classes, Budi, usually?
Just 4 or 5 students.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, any other questions for Naoko?
I'd like to.
Oh yeah, good luck, Naoko, for the program, the Australian program.
Thank you.
Can we take a picture if people feel comfortable turning back on their cameras? And if you don't, that's fine too. But if you'd like to be in the picture, yeah. Hi, Marlene. Hi, Satomi. Oh, I'm happy now. Hi, Sonia. I'm sorry.
Naoko, maybe you could stop sharing your slides and
Okay.
make everybody back in one picture.
Okay.
Here we are.
Okay. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Barbara, Budi, and Naoko, for the insightful shares today. They really embody our theme of technology and touch in the classroom, where we all agree that technology can help reaching out to students, but of course the touch is what will build the connection with them. And thank you so much for everyone who spent this morning to afternoon with us to learn and share. It's raining outside, but we certainly hope you could apply some of the things that you see here today. Thank you so much and have a nice rest of Sunday. Hopefully you get some good rest after this and ready for tomorrow. Can see you in our next event.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Can I have
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
the
Thank